Episode 12. We are live. Back with you. A new year.
Yeah.
Same. Everything else. Nothing else.
Gonna say all of our New Year's resolutions.
Not improved.
Optimism.
Yeah.
We're gonna crush this.
Yeah. Now you did bring something to my attention, and I although I have not made any, what are we? We're a week or so into the new year already. I've not made any resolutions, anything like that. However, you brought something to my attention that we're going to talk about today on the podcast, something you saw on somebody else's podcast. And tell me just a brief thing about that, because we're going to touch on it later. We're going to do the full thing later. But tell me, what is...
Yeah. So it is a year-end audit that you can still do, even though we're into the new year. And just, it's kind of a way to look back on the last year and figure out where you are so that you can kind of go from there to where you want to be.
Okay. And you asked me to do a few things. You gave me a couple tasks to do.
I did.
And is something that you're supposed to do. And no, I did do them. I swear I did do them. I did do them. I've got something. I've got it all written down, what I noticed after doing these tasks. But we're going to talk about them a little bit later on in the show. As we do every morning, though, let's start with some good news here on the program. Let's focus on the good, the positive. I mean, we're a week into 2025, and it seems like in normal news, it's not a lot of good stuff coming out so far. And and the general news cycle.
We're recording this on Friday, and we are on the F of WTF going.
Oh, I was going to talk about that. You're stealing what I was going to talk about. That's exactly right. I was going to, instead of what I was going to say, what the fuck? How about that? Because that's what it is. You're right.
Yeah, last time I did that was in 2020, and we all know how that went. So we are going to fight that with some good news, and we are going to talk about what's happening right outside of where I grew up going in Maggie Valley, North Carolina. There's a little town just a couple of towns over called Canton, and it's right outside of Asheville. And of course, they just got devastated by Hurricane Helene just a little while ago. But Taylor Schnecker lives in Canton there, and she was searching through debris along the Swananoa River, just hoping to recover some things from her friend's house, which was completely destroyed by Helene. And she was sifting through mud and torn up vegetation and all this, and she started just continually finding photographs that had survived the elements because of the waterproof glossy paper on them. And she said it was a photo of a middle school basketball team, or of a beloved dog, a wedding photo of a bride hugging somebody. And she said, you take photos because you have a moment you want to remember, and they just kind of all seemed so special. And so she decided to start this Instagram page to help reunite families with their missing photographs. And it's called Photos from Helene. And if you give that a follow, it's a little tearjerker, because just looking through some of those photos, how special they are to people.
Yeah.
They've lost them because of the devastation. And so they've been returned. A bunch of these photos have been returned. And, because commenters will be in there like, oh, I know that person, or that's me, or something. That's happened a lot too. But she has found about 100 photos herself so far. She's gathered a bunch more from local search and rescue teams. But,
I'm telling you, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, she's just saying, it's such a privilege to have an insight into, these moments in their lives and be able to give them back to them. And she says, sometimes she'll mail the photos to the families if they've left the area altogether. But she said if there is an opportunity for that hand delivery, that's definitely her preference, to be able to give it to them in person.
Wow. Well, I was just gonna say I'm looking through the Instagram page right now as we speak, and you feel you want to follow. You see these pictures of these people in these magical moments, Christmas morning or a baseball team or whatever it is, and you start to, I don't know, you feel like them in a way, like when you're looking at, you know what I mean? Like
it gives her a little insight into their lives.
It's really interesting. And then you just, you want to see, and then like, I just clicked on one here and someone's like, this is my grandmother. Like, oh my gosh, like this. And so you see these people recognizing some of the people from the photos, but and then it also makes you see ones that haven't been recognized, and you're just like, you wonder what the story is,
I know
about that. But it's a really great thing that she's doing.
It's great crazy to think how something so simple like a photograph can have such a big impact on people. Because especially, like grandma, like if someone found a picture of my grandma, she's no longer here. And so that would be, one of my most cherished possessions that somebody could give back to me. So I can only imagine, the feelings going on through this whole situation.
Yeah, exactly. Check it out for yourself if you can, especially if you have anybody in that area that you know, or anything like that. Make sure that you link them up with that page. I've got the tag there, the Instagram handle floating at the bottom of the screen for those watching on YouTube. Photos from Helene. Right, that's it.
Yeah,
so.
At photos from Helene.
All right.
Do you hear any screaming or squealing or weird random noises in the background? We're still on holiday break.
Yeah, that's right.
My niece also stayed the night last night, so got 3 of them in there.
You have had and you don't have to, and I know, and you don't have to go into all specifics. I know some of it may not be stuff that, but you've had a rough holiday break, just like it seems like. Is someone getting sick or a flat tire?
Virus,
I mean, like
potato for a week or 2. Yeah, flat tire had that.
I mean, just like car troubles and sick troubles and just like everything. You're just one after another.
Right. But hopefully I got all that out of the system before the new year. So
gosh, I sure hope so. Hey, I want to real quick, while we were talking about YouTube, I want to welcome everybody that is listening wherever you listen from. Thank you so much. But you can see a video version. My mom loves to watch our faces. That's what she says. I don't know why, but she's like, I like to see your faces. And so you can do that. You can see our faces. If you're listening to our audio only podcast, that platform, you can go check out our faces at the same time.
And see why people tell us we have faces for radio.
Faces for radio, yeah. On YouTube, follow us, give us a like on YouTube at Flippin' Streeter, and you can or Flippin' Streeter, make it weird, I think, is the full thing. See, I don't even know. I should really practice that and really maybe know where I'm directing people before I do that. So I was just trying to wing it, and
somewhere on YouTube.
Yeah, somewhere on YouTube you can find us for sure. If you type in Flippin' Streeter, something of ours will come up. No promises on if it's any good or not. We have not gotten to go. We haven't gotten to do any That's So Florida's in a couple of weeks here. And I'm so excited to, I think I am so excited to talk about mine. I hope it's not the same one that you get. I don't know, because this one just stuck out. So I'm going to change the title here on the screen, and you're going to know immediately if it's the same one or not. Just by that. It doesn't give away the story, but here it is.
Okay. No. Okay, I'll find another one.
Is it really? Is it really? You've got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me.
Dang it.
What are the odds of that? What are the odds? Come on. You're kidding.
No, that's what I had.
Oh, gosh. All right. So those that I did not watch on video, so I changed the title and it says, That's So Florida. It scrolls across the bottom of the screen and it says, Unusually Large Bulge. And with that, immediately she knew whether or not we were going to be talking about the same story or not. So here's the deal. So you think Flip had an interesting holiday week. TSA agents had even more interesting holiday week, especially in LA, where TSA agents noticed this is a quote, unusually large bulge in a gentleman's.
So we know it wasn't Streeter.
Yeah. Oh, hey, see, I was gonna see. Hold on. First of all, I'll give you that. But second of all, I was going to say, if I had $1 for every time I was flagged by the TSA for an unusually large bulge. Yeah. Oh, you're killing me here. Any case, let's get back to Mr. Bulge. All right. So the TSA is like, hey, let's check this guy out a little bit. Naturally, they had to get a look at this. Either way, they were like, we got to know. We've got to know. So they detained him. They searched his bulging area, found not anything too magnificent, but they did find dozens of rare bird eggs. That's what the dude was trying to smuggle. Can you imagine you'd have to be very careful how you sit to not get crack and ooze an egg down your things. Yeah, exactly. So dozens of rare bird eggs, apparently trying to smuggle them from Australia into the United States, which, by the way, authorities say big no, federal crime, federal charges. And they say it because, I mean, the risks, not only that it has for not, protecting those rare birds,
right?
Because that's so important. You can kill them, exactly.
Sit on them.
And then exactly. And then number two, you can completely the crazy stuff that's in Australia.
That's true.
Like, we don't want to introduce any of that shit over here. No way. What's next? The big ass spiders that they have over those things are like the size of dogs or whatever. Like, no, I don't want any of that stuff. Get it out of here. So anyway, so that's what they did. They got the eggs and they got it out of there, and this guy's gone. So anyway, we salute you, Mr. Bulge, for trying.
Yeah, nice try.
Trying to, I mean, golly, it's gonna anyway. What were you able to find in a rush here? Sorry that I took yours
on my Audible here. Going across the country to New York, in Naples, New York. At first, I thought this was a Florida story when it said Naples, because that's the only one I knew of. But no, apparently there is in Naples, New York, and there was a 38-year-old woman there arrested last weekend for aggravated driving while intoxicated.
Okay.
And they kind of knew she was intoxicated because she mistook a private driveway for a road.
No.
And crashed her truck into a tree.
That's not fun. So, who put that garage here in the road?
Deputies responded to a property damage accident, finding the woman while driving south. Investigation revealed, hey, she was intoxicated at the time of the incident. When
imagine that.
She was charged with aggravated DWI, issued some traffic tickets, scheduled to appear in court here pretty soon. No injuries reported, though.
That's good. That's good. Nice start to the new year for that lady. I'm sure that was one of her resolutions. Her resolution was like, I'm going to be very safe. And then,
I'm going to be sober.
Yeah.
I mean, it was last, technically.
What was it? Yeah. What day was it? Was that a New Year's Eve?
Last Saturday. So
so it's before. So before.
Yeah. So she was
so she could have a clean slate in 2025. Yeah. Okay. I wish the best for her. Clean slate, not a clean record. Yeah. Yeah, but not clean slate for.
I'll follow you.
Yeah, it will. No kidding. So I was going to do what I was actually going to talk about that thing. So I stole your That's So Florida. You stole my what early in the show. Yeah,
I was stuff better.
I know you would think we would talk about things that
we like to surprise each other. It's keeping each other on our toes.
We did well. That's true, and that's fine because we can always go. It's always we can always pivot. But so here's what. Early on in the show, you said, the January 25. I was going to say what? How about what the fuck? Because that's what it is. Everybody noticed that the beginning of the year started with Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, abbreviating to WTF, which is the abbreviation for what the fuck. So that's what pretty much people are like. And the last time you said you already dialed in on this, the last time this happened was in 2020.
It was. Yeah.
And you know how that turned out. I mean, that was a shit show of a year.
Yeah, 0 out of 10.
And so, yeah, exactly. So people are kind of saying, is that what's going to happen? Now, some experts have predicted, we talked a little bit about predictions. I didn't get to this part. Some other experts have predicted, like, those people that go on through they predict different things are going to happen throughout the year.
Right.
In the future. Some have said that there's another pandemic heading our way.
Oh, of course.
This year.
Yeah.
See, maybe it's the bird flu. I don't know. Like that thing's been, who knows? But whatever it is, I don't know. Yeah, I know. No, I know. That's what I was gonna say.
Up like astronomically. I bought a dozen.
That's why that guy was trying to smuggle them in from Australia. Maybe we should get behind this guy. Maybe he's on to something. Yeah, who knows?
Exotic ones, but
yeah. If you could just smuggle some regular grade A white.
Right.
Eggs.
No, not the white. I want the brown.
Brown eggs, whatever. Yeah. Are those healthier for you? What's the difference?
So. They tell us it is.
Who tells us it is?
Because the white ones, I don't think they're white when they lay them. I think they go through like some kind of.
They're bleached.
I'm totally talking out of my ass right now, but I'm pretty sure.
Wait a second. Okay, hold on. I'm looking it up right now. Hold on. Let's see.
Because I know, like when I get fresh
naturally
eggs,
white?
they're brown.
Most eggs are naturally white.
Oh, they are.
However, the color of an egg depends on the breed of the chicken that laid it. Huh. Hens with white earlobes typically lay white eggs. What? Is this true? If your earlobes are white, you lay white eggs? While hens with dark earlobes and colored feathers typically lay colored eggs.
Okay.
Who knew? This is something you never figured. No, look.
Poor soul that had to discover that.
Yeah. That is so interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's see. Hold on. Let's see this. Okay. So are white eggs or brown eggs healthier for you?
Yeah.
Both white and brown eggs are equally healthy.
Okay.
As the color of the shell has nothing to do with the nutritional value of the egg.
See, I was talking.
The only difference is the breed of chicken that laid it, with brown eggs coming from hens with brown feathers and earlobes, and white eggs coming from white feathered hens and white earlobes. Why the earlobes? Can't you just end it at brown feathers? Why do you got to get all technical into the earlobes?
Specific.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Many people believe brown eggs are healthier due to their color, but it's not true.
Right. Okay.
All right.
That was me. I thought they were healthier.
I think that you pay more for brown eggs too, don't you? Like if you go to the store, don't you? So like, are you being totally swindled?
Those are like the the free range and the all the stuff, nothing added to it and everything. Yeah. But apparently you could just get the white ones.
You can get the white ones. So there you go. So there's my New Year's tip for you. It doesn't matter what color your eggs are.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going
unless you
anyway. So
you're not.
I'm going dairy free and gluten free in 2020.
Are you really?
I've already been gluten free, but I kind of like don't take it serious like I should, I guess.
Yeah.
But we have a gluten free household pretty much.
So
it's like I just kind of have to.
Eggs aren't dairy, are they?
I mean, yeah.
It's poultry.
Classify.
No. Isn't anything dairy come from a cow? Eggs aren't dairy. Are eggs dairy? No, eggs are not dairy. Yeah, they come from birds. You don't have to give up eggs.
Oh. Okay.
You don't have to give up eggs. I was like, dairy is anything that comes from a cow.
From a cow.
Look, I just made your year so fucking good. You thought that it was going to be the worst year ever. And I just
my look. Cookies.
Yeah, no, you can
bring cookies because you have to put egg in
them. No, you can do that. It's all on the table. I changed your life just today. I'm expecting whatever kind of gifts you want to send me in the mail. Actually, I'll take a dozen eggs, as expensive as those are. If you could just send a dozen eggs my way, that'd be great. Stuff them in your pants and head over this direction. Golly, that's funny. Unless you're allergic to eggs also, but I mean, if you're only allergic to dairy, that's just stuff that comes from a cow. So you can have eggs.
Eggs were not on my last allergy test. It was all dairy. It was lettuce. It was carrots.
Yeah.
It was all this random stuff.
And you're fine. You can eat. Okay. I mean, I'm not your doctor, but I'm giving you an official green pass to eat eggs.
Throwing eggs at your house.
Won't be the first, won't be the last. So bring it on. Let's see here. I've been itching to talk about this a little bit too. We are you okay to move? Or we didn't even do a what the what for you. Do you want to talk about? Do you want to do that first? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say I want to talk about some shit that my kids have been doing this week. But if you got some what the what, go ahead and.
So it's hunting season, right? Everybody, I've got family, friends, they're all excited about it.
Oh, yeah, I've been seeing pictures. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They
And
all gross me out. I'm still not strong stomach enough for
I
it.
know,
Even
like
though it's great, it's
yeah,
fine. I encourage,
I used to
especially if
go
you're
used to go hunting with my granddad, and I haven't, since he passed, I'm just like,
yeah,
I don't want to do it by myself. Jared will not do it, so I'm like,
yeah.
whatever. But there is a hunter in Louisiana that was airlifted to the hospital with non-fatal injuries. I'm
What
trying not to
happened?
laugh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not really funny, but it's really funny. Um, he was
What happened?
mistaken for a deer,
What he
shot
was?
with buckshot by another hunter right before
What?
Christmas.
Does anybody
Just
know where Dick Cheney
remember.
was at that time? Where is
So,
he? Yeah.
according to state wildlife officials, both men were
How
hunting
do
on
you?
a small private property without knowing the other's presence. They both went off to do that themselves.
No,
Neither of the
that's what it
hunters
was.
wore the required safety or
Oh, well, then
did
you
they
had.
carry the mandatory deer tax. And so after
Oh
the incident,
no.
the shooter immediately called for help. Wildlife agents cited the shooter for violating state hunting regulations, without the
But they
tax
probably.
and
But the worst thing
failing
is
to
the guy that
report.
got shot probably also got cited too. Like they came to his hospital probably afterwards. Like, you all right? Like, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
fine. By the
yeah.
way, here's your
Right.
ticket for
Here's
not
your
wearing the orange, not carrying your
yeah,
tags, not
yeah.
doing this.
That's what they say.
Like,
Additional charges
oh,
may still follow. So
yeah,
there, just reminding to wear
yeah,
orange or pink. It's
yeah.
mandatory to prevent these kind of incidents from happening.
Oh my goodness. Mistaken for a deer. How are you? I mean,
I guess just making
how
like
fast were you?
I know.
I feel like you,
Surely you didn't see like maybe just
yeah.
hearing like the
You
leaves
just
or the
heard leaves and you started
you know
shooting at
just
stuff.
start
Like, what
shooting
happened here?
blindly.
Yeah. Because, like, how
Like
do
you
you
don't
still
know
not?
what the hell's going on.
Oh, good. I found a perfectly camouflaged deer. This is so neat. It's neat. Yeah. Man, this deer's got a beard.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You like
It's
hear a
good. I
branch
can't.
snap and it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
what's going on.
I mean, that's wild. Well, I'm glad. So the guy's okay though, ultimately.
Yeah, non-life
That's good.
threatening injuries, so he'll be all
That's
right.
that's good. Well, which is, I guess, the only thing. I mean, because like you couldn't be. I mean, I don't want to say you couldn't be, but like I would think like he wasn't going to be shot in the face,
Right. No, no.
and
No.
and then and him still be able to say I mistook him for a deer.
Right.
Like you can't. Like if he's shot in the butt, like maybe, and
Yeah.
then like hopefully that's non-life
Yeah,
threatening.
he's down on all
Not
fours or
yeah.
something like
What?
that.
Why would he be down on all fours?
I don't know.
What the hell is going on in the woods in Louisiana? What are you imagining here?
Oh no. They'll probably
Nothing in the story said he was down on all fours.
I'm just saying to be mistaken for a deer. How the hell does that happen? If you like on all fours, like trying to lure a deer to you, like
What are you doing? Trying to put the
and
yeah,
they have like a
yeah,
little deer
yeah.
deer call, like
Deer
the mating
calls.
call.
And you think that's what he did? You think he put on some antlers? Like you think he put on the antlers? Like you
Where's
give
the
the
antlers?
like the antlers for the dogs, around Christmas time to make a little reindeers.
We know he wasn't wearing the
And then
orange. There's no telling what he could have been in a whole doe outfit trying to lure
try
some.
to lure a deer over there. Oh God! Covered himself in the deer piss. Isn't that what they do? And then put deer piss all over him. Get down on all fours.
Uh-huh.
Put on little antlers. Eh. Is that what? No, but I think they make similar noises, or something like that.
It's probably
I had one. No, I had one. That is probably.
They'll probably both be out.
Oh God! Oh God! No, I had a deer confront me one time. We talked about this. I think we talked about this last episode or something, not too long ago.
In the backyard?
Yeah, well, yeah, in the back. Yeah, exactly. In the backyard. And it went, remember when it did that to me? And it kind of made that noise. Like, it's like making weird noises like that. So I think a is pretty close to the sound that a deer would make.
Yeah.
If you get, you know what? Let's bring Google back into this, or let's bring somewhere back into this. Let's see if we can. I don't know if I can. See if I can find out if it's something that describes What sound does a deer make? What does this describe? They don't make individual, they combine sounds. Okay, so look, this is pretty good. So this is what it describes as this. It's described as a grunt followed by a wheeze, which is basically what I just did. It was a grunt followed by a wheeze. Hey, stop it right now. If we can't, you can't play it. You can't play it. I may have to pay for it. Is it a sound? I muted you because I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying for the sound of a deer grunt on the show. If it's you listen to it over there.
Oh, they have like different.
Okay, wait. Are you talking now?
There's a hungry.
I muted you. Okay, all right. What did it sound like?
There's a hungry, but it's like, yeah.
That's kind of the sound. Yeah. And that's what you told me it was a sheep, but it's not. Yeah. That's what the deer kind of sound like. Okay. And then there's angry, which is more of the and those are the deer noises. Look, you doubted me and you said I was doing a sheep, but that was what I was doing, and I think it was pretty. You can play this back later, and you're going to say Streeter was pretty accurate with his deer. I'm almost a deer expert. Some people would call me a deer expert.
Yeah.
Almost a deer expert. All right, it's time to move on from this. How we got down this road for this long, I don't even know. All right, let me take a sip here and refresh, and then let's move on. I got some stuff to talk about with the kids. It's not so much. So I'm just a little concerned here. Yeah, my wife, she ever since I met her, and I'm not blaming her.
She's been miserable.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Ever since I met her, she anytime something bad happens, and maybe you've heard her say this, like anything, not like really bad, but like sort of bad. Like if you like if you drop your phone.
Inconvenient.
Inconvenient. Yeah. She'll say, sucks to suck. Kind of like that. Have you ever heard her say that?
Yes.
Yeah. Like, like you're walking into the dining room with your sandwich and you accidentally drop it and the dog eats it.
Right.
Like, sucks to suck. That's like what you'd say.
Yeah.
But so that she's been doing this for years. So I don't know. Probably for a long, long time before even I met her. She's been saying that a lot. Just a lot more since I met her.
Right.
And to her credit, though, she's been trying to say it less.
Okay.
With little ears around, but somehow Luna has caught on to this.
Oh no.
And so now if something sort of bad happens, she'll be like, sucks to suck. And in
her cute little voice.
In her cute little voice, exactly. And like not even sure she really like. She just knows that if something kind of bad, if something bad happens, she's like, "That's what you say."
Right.
And like it's all, and it's not in a. She doesn't even quite realize it's funny to like. It's not, It's like it's kind of. So anyway, so here I am now. What I was just gonna say is, I'm worried. Like she's getting close to going to school.
Yeah, she is.
And it's
telling her friends that.
That's what I'm gonna say. I'm like, or like a teacher be like, hey, anybody know what 2 + 2 is? And and Bobby goes 3, and the teacher goes, no, it's 4. And cue Luna going over there, going to Bobby and going, sucks to suck. And that's how she gets her first suspension. Yeah. And like, and not even realize she's like, just mom. Yeah. And she's like, that's just what I thought you did when something sort of bad happens. Right. You just said that. So, so now we're going to have to try and figure out how to reprogram that over the next couple of years before she gets into school.
We're going to do the factory reset on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Where is the factory reset on kids? That's what I wanted. Yeah. If you can find that, there's a couple things in there I need to, there's definitely a few. I mean, when you have teenage brothers, it's just like, they come up with so much stuff that they are, interested in it. And they're just asking questions. And the teenagers, they're not being even vulgar or anything like that, but they're like, hey, what does XYZ mean? And you're like, oh my God. And then Lou's like, XYZ. And you're like, no, don't.
It's like,
and Bobby's like, wait, why is XYZ supposed? No, stop saying XYZ. Stop saying it. Yeah, and it is slow motion. Like, no.
I've learned kids are like the ultimate parrots. That
Yeah.
if
Oh, yeah, they are, of
you
course.
say something, maybe something that you want them to say, like, being complimenting, complimenting somebody or things like that. And they're like, that's not fun.
Yeah.
Or, you say something like sucks to suck. And then,
And then
you
there's that.
drop a curse word or something. And it's like, they will say that nonstop.
Say that. I know.
Foreseeable
Oh,
future.
luckily we don't curse a lot, so it's like it hasn't been, knock on wood, there hasn't been a lot of that. We haven't like, this is kind of there's been things that sound like it. Like, I mean, she could not say marshmallows for the life of her for a long time. And she was calling them fuck mellows. And I was like, what is that even? And that's what it sounded like. And thankfully she's done with it. She's done with that. It's moved past. She can say marshmallows now.
Good.
So we dodged that one in school just in time to have sucks to suck come out. So so we're gonna try and reprogram that, but we'll see how that goes. Anything happening in your world besides kids getting sick and all that kind of stuff? What's happening over there? What have your kids been up to?
That's just been the life of the party these last couple of weeks. I did notice that totally off subject, but I just glanced at my shirt, and I don't know if I'm the only one that does this, because we all have, like, in our closet, we've got those clothes, right? The ones that we are gonna fit into one day, or we're gonna, we're gonna lose that weight and we're gonna get into these, so we're never gonna get rid of them. And they just sit there and sit there and sit there. But I have that pile, which is smaller these days because I have lost a lot of weight. But I also have the opposite end of the spectrum. Like this shirt. Do you see how big this shirt is?
Oh, yes. But you love the shirt so much, so you don't want to get rid of it. You don't want to not wear it.
She got it for me like a couple of years ago before I lost all my weight. And it's one.
This sweatshirt's kind of one of them.
Yeah. And it's like, I've just got my fat clothes, and Jared's like, babe, don't you want to, you can wear stuff that, accentuates, because, he likes me wearing the tight shirts.
Yeah, like Jared.
Sweatpants. I'm like, this isn't doing it for you, babe. But I've got this whole wardrobe now of all of these clothes that are like 2 sizes too big.
Oh, I've got that.
I just refuse to get rid of them.
Yep. I've got several of those types of pieces of clothing. And especially I'm so cheap that the more expensive the shirt or pair of pants, I'm like, I'm not getting rid of it. But it's like, it doesn't fit you anymore at all. I'm like, I paid $172 for this thing to go to a wedding in 1997.
Right. Or one time.
And I'm not getting, yeah, exactly. It's basically brand new, and I'm not going to get my money out of it now.
Facebook
unless I keep it where, yeah, exactly. And she's like, oh my God. She's like, just get rid of it. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to. And so I swear to you, I have a couple of those hangers and closet space dedicated to that kind of stuff. So I totally understand that.
I find myself to be a
actually
mix.
Hold on. Wait, I gotta change it. This is perfect for what makes you weird. That's it right there. Okay. That's part, because I was going to be one of the questions. Not to skip around too much, but what makes you weird? This is it. You answered it already.
That's it right here. Already getting into it. Because I kind of consider myself to be like a mix of you and Brittany, because nothing gives me greater joy as a housewife and a mother than
getting rid of somebody else's stuff. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, getting rid of other things. Yeah.
Getting it out of the house. I took like 3 or 4 bags of
Brittany
crap
loves to do that
to my mother's house the other day just to get it out of my house.
Yeah. So that's the Brittany mix.
But then I go through like these shirts and things like that.
Sean.
It's like, I want to keep this. This is sentimental. This is comfortable. This is my favorite person in the whole world.
I know.
I'm not getting rid of a Dolly shirt.
Tag Dolly. What would you do?
What would Dolly do?
What would Dolly do?
She wouldn't have a shirt this big to begin with.
Well, she'd fill it out a little better.
She was. That was the thing. I mean, when
Stop! No, I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get in.
Not the deal I wanted to make. I wanted to keep these.
Stop
and this. And I lost a lot of this.
She'd get in her shirt.
Okay, yeah.
She'd say it's okay. She'd say it's okay.
Yeah, she would.
She'd say, darling, it's okay to get a new shirt.
Yeah.
Get yourself something that you feel good in. It's all that matters. Don't worry about my name on there. Don't worry about anybody else. Get yourself something that you feel good in.
Yeah,
that's exactly what she'd say. 100%. She's so great.
Getting it taken in and bedazzled and everything.
Maybe that's what you should do. Get it bedazzled and take it in. It's like if you really love it that much.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. I think that'd be really cool.
Little crop top. Isn't that what everybody's doing these days? Like I could. Well, yeah.
I don't think so.
Get her face there.
I don't think everybody's doing that.
That'd be.
You got to cut off the bottom of Dolly's face so you can turn it into a crop top.
I'll get her right there at the chin. So it'll be like, yeah, it'll be like right there above my belly button.
Please no, please don't. First of all, I don't think that's a thing. Is that a thing?
Crop tops are definitely a thing.
Are they a thing?
Yes, Ava is very much into those right now.
Okay.
And I'm like, why am I paying $50 for half a shirt?
Yeah, oh my gosh. Tell her I've got some she can buy for $50 that will she can make 2 shirts out of them.
Right.
Yeah, for her. 2, maybe 3. It's a heck of a deal.
Full price for this. It's only half of the material.
Yeah, exactly. What's that? That brings me back. What's that song? I don't know if you could say what's that the Thrift Shop, Macklemore. Do you remember that? And he's like, $50 for a shirt. That's some anyway.
It is. I love
Hey, we're already 36 minutes into our show here. We haven't even done this year-end audit, so let's get right to it. Let's skip ahead to our year-end audit. This is something we talked about in the beginning of the show. So even though we are into the first of the year, you can still do this. And you had me do a couple of tasks, and believe me, I don't want you. We have to touch on this. You got to do this because I don't want to have wasted my time. I spent a good 7 hours going through my freaking camera roll on my phone. I got 40,000 photos on that thing.
Just from last year?
No, actually, last year I have 22,000 photos between January 1st and December 31st. 22,000. That's true.
Good Lord.
So.
Just over 7.
So why don't you fill us in on what I was supposed to? So, and then I can go into my results, what I discovered.
I found
Tell us how this works.
idea through Mel Robbins, one of the best. I mean, if you're not listening to her podcast, it is absolutely incredible. So many like self-help things and different sorts. And she does this thing. She's done it with her husband for the last 20 something years. And now that her children are grown, they kind of do it all as a family toward the end of the year over the holidays. And it's like a year-end audit. And so what they do is she goes through her camera roll and her calendar from the last year, so 2024. And, because everybody's always talking about, I want to do this. I want to lose weight. I want to travel. I want to da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But you want to do all of these things, but you don't necessarily know where you are. So by not knowing where you are, you don't know how to get to where you want to go. So this is basically kind of like bringing you into the moment, seeing where you are and seeing how you spent the last year. And so if you go through, like you going through your photo roll, if you go through there and you see, like a few pictures of your parents and a few pictures of Luna and things like that, it's like that kind of tells you spent way too much time working in 2024. And for 2025, you need to be more vigilant and more focused on spending more time, going to visit your parents more often, spending more time with Luna, taking her to do things and stuff like that. And the same goes for like your calendar. If you're going through there and you see no, party nights with us and, no time for tennis, no paddle boarding and things like that. It's like it kind of helps you put everything back into place. It's like, wow, I didn't get to do the things that I wanted to do in 2024. So let me make that change and start putting my priorities in line for 2025.
So I did this. So I went through, like you asked, you told me to do that. And like I said, first thing, I have 22,000 photos, a little over 22,000 photos between January 1st, 2024 and December 31st, 2024. So the first thing I think I learned is that I need to stop looking at life through the lens.
Yeah.
Like that's too many photos. That's just too many. And like, I'm first to admit that. I need to try to just enjoy, I think, the moments that are in front of me maybe a little bit, but it's so hard because I look at them. I'm like, this is amazing. I want to remember this forever. But I do know that studies also show that like to remember it better is to look at it actually just to be in it. Correct. A little bit more. So that's number one. However, aside from that, I'm pretty proud of my audit. Like really. So my photos, my calendar, it's really stuff that was filled with stuff that I would want it to be filled with, like like you said, family. It's most like almost all my photos, like it's family and Luna and friends and outdoors and playing tennis and sports and moments that really, when I look back at them, they make me smile and say, "Gosh, I'm so glad I did that." So like that's really good. There's not a whole lot of things in there that that I go, oh my gosh, I wish I hadn't done that. Or there's a few things that remind me of things. I'm like, I shouldn't have wasted as much time worrying about those couple of things. Like, oh my gosh, I remember that day. I was so worried about such and such that day for no reason. Like that's, and so like looking back, you can see that. And like there, I see some appointments, like even doctor's appointments for me. Like I stress about it because I have anxiety. I look back at the calendar and I was like, oh, there's this doctor's appointment. That was great. I worried about it for like a month of anxiety and it was fine. And so that is something. So that's kind of what I feel like I learned from the audit is number one, don't spend as much time looking through the lens, soak it in, and then don't worry as much, to have not as much anxiety about the things. But then also to make sure I continue to put in the work to maintain friendships, not just for me, but for my kids too. Because like I see some photos of Luna playing with kids that she met and stuff. I'm like, oh, where happened to those kids?
Yep.
It's like, oh, because I didn't call their parent or whatever, it's like you have to arrange paid, play dates and stuff for kids. So it reminded me for that. That's
kind of the whole point of this too, that Mel brought up was this start, stop, continue. I think she called it. There's certain things that you're going to want to start doing in 2025. There's certain things you're going to want to stop doing. And then there's things, like you said, that you're going to want to continue doing for 2025. So it's just like it's a really interesting way to kind of end the year and start a new one saying, all right, here's where I want my focus to be in 2025 to make it better than last year.
I love it. I think that's a great note for us to end on at 42 minutes here. We've gone a little long, but I like it. We're ending a little positivity. Thanks to, who is it? Mel? It's Mel Robbins.
Mel Robbins. The Mel Robbins podcast. Yeah.
All right. There we go. That's awesome. I think we're out of time unless there's anything else you want to talk about before we go. Is there anything we missed here today? All right. Well, with that said, I want to thank you for joining us. Welcome to 2025. It's going to be a fun year. We've got a lot of fun things planned out, and we hope that you're a part of it. No, we have nothing. We have nothing planned out.
I don't know of anything, but
I have no idea what we're talking about next week. We may not even have a show next. Who knows? Follow us, like us, wherever you listen to your podcasts. YouTube at Flippin' Street or Make It Weird. Spotify at Flippin' Street or Make It Weird. Amazon, Apple at Flippin' Street or Make It Weird. So wherever you... On all. I like to give them each their individual attention.
Specific. Okay.
Yes.
Are they paying us for that? Or?
They're paying me, but they specifically asked to make sure you don't get a cut because you're a liability. Something I don't know. It's something like that. But there's something in the fine detail paperwork. Yeah. Hey, we'll see you back here. Thanks so much. I think we did a pretty good job. I mean, we talked about huge bulges and eggs and all sorts of stuff. So. I know that we're real friends. This is our real life, and I think we did a pretty good job of keeping it weird.
Always
do it all again next week. Bye.